As I'm joined now, though, by our Home and Security Editor, Mark White, who is in Henley-on-Thames, or somewhere very near it anyway. And Mark, what is the latest when it comes to Russell Brand?
Well, there's no sign of him, if that's what you mean. We're just on a jetty out into the River Thames on the opposite bank from where his multi-million-pound cottage is, just about 100 feet or so further up the river there. It's secluded, it's kind of set back from the Thames itself and surrounded by high bushes and trees. So, you know, unless you intrude onto private property, get to see that particular home of Russell Brand. We're not going to trespass just to get a picture of that for you. So no sign of him. Of course, we know that he's got some shows, a show in Windsor that's supposedly going ahead tomorrow evening, one in Plymouth that's scheduled for Friday. However, there are discussions now, we understand, with the management of both venues to determine whether or not these shows will now go ahead. Because we're in that period, Patrick, even though Russell Brand has not been convicted in a court of law, he's never even been charged. In fact, he's not even being investigated yet by the Metropolitan Police or the LA Police Department. We're in that space where allegations have been made and aired and everyone is discussing it, and there is a sort of toxic atmosphere around this individual, and clearly institutions, organisations, those that work with Russell Brand are now looking to themselves about the possibility of reputational damage. So many of them are starting to run for the hills. We've seen it many times before. That's what's happening on this occasion, and it remains to be seen whether these two shows will go ahead. But this is going to be a very difficult period, of course, for Russell Brand, who completely denies the allegations that have been made against him. Difficult too, of course, for those alleged victims who've come forward, and we wait to see whether they will decide to go to the Metropolitan Police or indeed the LAPD with their respective allegations and put that before a criminal court.
Yeah, no, indeed. Look, Mark, thank you very, very much. Mark White, there, our Home and Security Editor from Henley-on-Thames, where, as we understand it, Russell Brand is camping out within his own home. The questions that I'm putting to you today is, look, do you think that somebody who's accused of this stuff, things like rape and sexual assault, which of course he denies, should be given the right to anonymity in the same way that their alleged victims are? Do you think that now all of this is out there, you know, the accusations are out there, is there any chance whatsoever of Russell Brand ever getting a fair hearing? Do you think that potentially if the BBC and Channel 4 and whoever else, you know, if this really was some kind of open secret, and as we are led to believe that, oh, there were whispers of this for years and so knew this and knew that, well, why did you keep employing the guy then? You know, why did he keep having a BBC car that he could, you know, allegedly ferry people around in all of this stuff? You know, why was that facilitated? Why was that allowed? Then there's the side of it, isn't there, about, you know, the statute of limitations on all of this. Part of me thinks, well, you know, if this guy is winning awards for being promiscuous, quite literally, I can't say the name of the award at this particular time, but, you know, if he's winning awards for being incredibly promiscuous and he wins that something like 3 times in a row, and then, you know, is it any surprise that then potentially he views sexual activity differently to maybe, dare I say it, a normal person? But then the overarching point of that is, well, that's still not acceptable, is it? If indeed any of that is true. Get your views coming in, GBViews and GBnews.com.